Let's keep moving. Starting off hour number 2. Nobody from the Triangle of Hate has called yet. They're lying in wait. They're coming for each other. They're playing chess. Better to follow. You want to follow and you want to react. If you're smart. The Triangle of Hate, I laid it out yesterday. Defending champ, Vic. The 09 champ, Brad. And the back-to-back runner-up, Mike and Indy. None of them have called yet. As good as that hour was, you still have the Triangle of Hate out there, and you've got some others. All right, let's go to it. Next. This caller is back. He was off last year, but he did RSVP this week. He is best known on this show for the sledgehammer of hillbilly smack that he took to Jeff and Richmond back in the day.
It's back to sleeping in the chicken coop, listening to the Soggy Bottom Boys on that phonograph and playing Spin the Bottle with the Sheep. Stay in your lane, you hillbilly.
Stay in your lane, you hillbilly. Denver was asking, would he be invited? He was. Here he is. Oren in Denver. Oren, what's up, bro?
Nothing much. How you doing, bro?
Doing great, Oren.
All right, I'm going to get straight to it. Let me see if I have this straight, Romello. Now the NFL owners and the NFL Players Association need an entire offseason. A U.S. District Court judge, not one but 2 federal mediators, one of which was the guy who was like the master of U.S. government's September 11th Victim Compensation Fund to figure out how to split $9 billion in profits. Seriously? I mean, why not call in every judge on the Supreme Court bench? Hell, don't stop there. Get the president. Have Barack look under the hood and review the play. How about an impromptu general election? I know what my vote is. You can all go bleep yourselves. I mean, did anyone pass these nitwits the memo that the U.S. Gov is on the brink of shutting down as of tomorrow? I'm sure they're paying close attention to what's going on in the country, though. What with all the newfound time they have to spend with their families, because we all know how much they love to do that. I mean, on one side, you've got pro-ballers hoping that the department that keeps track of child support is a casualty of budget cuts. I mean, the clones are no better, though. Salivating at the prospect that a shutdown means that taxes are suspended. To both sides, I say this. You have to be paying them first, you deadbeats. I'm not saying that a large cross-section of Clone Nation is eating up a thirsty alley-sized slice of that 9% U.S. unemployment rate pie, as much as I'm saying that to many of the clones, April 15th is just next Friday. You are nothing if not bitter and shiftless, average clone. I don't want to bring everyone down with that important things going on in the world stuff, though, Rummy. I think Trapper took care of that. After all, it's a smack-off. This year's big winner walks away with an all-expense-paid trip to Vegas to see an MMA fight, and that's appropriate, by the way. After all, what is the smack-off if not the Octagon? Either that or WWE SummerSlam. Same difference. Jeff! All the pre-fight stares, the bluster, the pyrotechnics, a throng of liquored-up, bloodthirsty onlookers and slack-jawed gawkers weighing in on the action. And no sooner than the first punch is thrown, I think Jay Moore took care of that, the action deteriorates to a good old-fashioned spooning on the jungle mat. Sweet! Talk about appropriate. How about Brute sponsoring the 2011 Smack-Off on a day when this next take will most definitely be the most common theme of the event? Hey, LeBron, what did your mom's 5 fingers say to the valet's face? Some guys just need to be slapped. The biggest question in sports is no longer when does Tiger Woods go back to having copious amounts of sex and winning majors, reconcile with Butch Harmon. No, the biggest question in sports is what will Gloria James do for her next act? I must have missed it, but apparently after Allen and Ann were forced into retirement, the NBA ran an ad for an opening. Wanted, overrated, freaky hooper that no baller can be paired with effectively, and fruitcake nutty mother and son tandem. And yes, Ann, Tawana did tell me that. I heard Billy Packer's interview with you earlier this week, Jerome. I couldn't agree more. Now, if Chief Wiggum, a.k.a. David Stern, can take his marketing plan just a step further, the VH1ization of the association will be complete. Hear me out. You take Gloria, Delonte West, and Marquise Daniels' stepdad, move them all into a house together, and roll tape. You can call it Bonnie, Clyde, and Bowie. That's how you build a brand, because that's what it's all about these days, building your brand. My suggestion to LeBron, incorporate Queen James into your brand. Kind of like Donovan McNabb's mom in those chunky soup ads. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there, bam! Gloria pops up, she's got Chuck Norris in a headlock, a 40-ounce in either hand. See, it's all about branding. Which brings me to the current state of the jungle, much to the chagrin of Stu on a laptop in Manhattan. I'm going to end my call waxing poetic about the jungle then versus the jungle now. It's been entertaining to listen to Vic and Brad and Mike fight over which one is the big unit of the jungle's pronk of hate. Brad in that falsetto whine of his, sounding like a middle schooler on his way to ninth grade. The reigning king of smack, Victor, so arrogant, so low pro Cheech Marin. You know, since Victor came off the text and jumped into the fracas, I've been trying to decipher if that's quiet confidence I hear in his slow, monotone delivery, or a touch of thinly veiled little yellow bus rider. Both champs, and it's weird because the way I see it, even though he doesn't have the hardware to show for it, Angry Mike in Indy comes across as the Mo in this trio of Three Stooges knocking their heads together. The new breed of clone-on-clone violence birthed by Chad and Portland's of the jungle is far more slap and tickle than real banging. But I came up with the real. So for you new schoolers, I offer this. You can paint by the numbers, but you'll rarely come close to the brush strokes. I see them. Nowadays, every pistol out the holster popping off at the Pablo. You counterfeit Picassos, love boasting, but your arms ain't long enough to box with Bob Ross, actor. Hollywood heaven has a place for these bastards, the fatherless. Clones be popping up like weeds and lawn please, like jungle legends grow on trees. It's all ease. It's all left up wrong. War food chain music. Yes, indeed. Gotta run, Jimmer. Those green jackets don't fit themselves. Forget out.
Oren. All right, keep this thing moving. Oren in Denver. That's some heavy lumber. So a lot to like about that phone call. The first Gloria James sighting. LeBron's mom taking some.